Welcome inside the Lion's Den for another episode of LionPokerTV. I'm your host, Trey, and I'm going to get you caught up on the last two TNPC matches, as well as review the goings-on in Lion Cup, which is a under-the-radar event at this point in time, but we're going to try to bring that into the spotlight a little bit here on this episode. Back in mid-January, we had match 7.11, and Kathy Nana Bailey took home her second victory of the season. This time it was at the expense of one Guy Pasquarella. Now, Kathy had one hit on the night. That hit came at the expense of Guy. Where did all the other hits go? Well, the star of the night was Guy before the heads up with Nana. He actually had 7 hits on the evening, took home 28 points, and quite honestly, should have won that match. Had a huge chip stack, but to her credit, Nana was able to grind him down, and she took home the winning prize. And this is a clip of Nana's thoughts after that match.
I'm actually pretty darn shocked. Guy had a huge stack, and I was really low. And I was sticking around waiting for other players to go out just to hopefully get into the money, but won a couple of good hands, and that's sort of the end of the story.
Now this just happened to be Guy's second time where he picked up 7 hits and most points on the night, but only to finish second place. Happened earlier in the season against Dr. Teeth, Dave Neal. So unfortunately for Guy, he's still looking for that first elusive victory on the season.
The way it is, and by the time she was stacked over me with Timmy's chips and mine, I was just sort of hanging in there. And when the final round came around, where we were both anteing and the blinds being 1-2, it was really difficult, but that's the way it goes.
You had another fantastic performance from Tim Kramer. Now, the unique thing about Tim is he has only played in 4 matches and has produced some fantastic poker. For those of you who haven't had a chance to maybe watch him or be sat with him at the same table, Timmy's really lifted his game. And one of the things that I had said at the onset of the season was I expected some big things from him, because he ended last season so strong that he really came into this season with a lot of good, positive mojo going his way. Now, unfortunately, he hadn't been able to play a whole lot due to work. But for the 4 matches that he's been here, he's already surpassed 5 other players in points and is in currently the wild card spot. So a nice showing for him with 20 points and 4 hits in match 7-11. 3 names that you're going to hear a lot of tonight, and we may hear a lot of for the rest of the season, is Dave, Steve, and Alec. Those boys all took 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. Consistency has been the key for those guys. They've all played very well. They've all won multiple times. Dave, not so much picking up the hits, but always there at the end. We know about Steve. We know what he's capable of doing. Currently, those 3 players, Steve, Dave, and Alec, sit at the top of the overall standings. Their consistency is the key to the reason for that. The last player gaining points on 7.11 was Markian. And boy did he need them. It's been a struggle for the Boar this season, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. But he picked up 6 points and is staying strong holding on tight to that 12th place spot. Now, just last night in the den, we completed match 7.12. It was a third victory for our good friend Alec. This one, well, there was a little bit of luck that went along with his victory tonight. And even though Alec would be the first one to tell you it's all about luck and getting good cards, he does deserve some praise for the way that he's been playing. It's not an easy thing to win multiple times in this club, in this league, but he's done so. He played well, he did get lucky, but he earned his victory. And here's what he had to say after last night's match.
I'll be honest with you, the story of my night are these two cards right here, King Jack. Early on, I'm not going to say that I didn't get lucky, but I won a big hand against Guy, and it was King Jack, and I hit the full house, and you look to maybe get a hand like that, once every 6 months if you're lucky, and I was able to get it, twice tonight, as well as pocket aces against pocket kings. It's for all the players that were out there, I'm not going to put it out there and say like it was my superior play, but sometimes, it's just the way the cards unfold. It's a rough game, I got mixed feelings right now.
It was the second time that Alec beat Dave on the season. Played very well, as we all know. Not getting the hits, did not have a hit again last night, but he did manage to get heads up with Alec, gave him a good run, and this is what Dave thought of the match after losing to Alec.
Runner-up's great. Top two, every time I pretty much make it to the final table, I got 5,000 in chips almost every time. But you got to be able to change the, who you're playing against and the different, you got to know when to change gears and, make the right bluffs. But as we stated every match is that every night is a grind.
That third illustrious name that we like to hear is Steve, and he took third place last night for a total of 15.5 points. Somebody who is not currently in the postseason picture is rookie Bob Doherty. Now, Bob has struggled mightily to get his footings here. He had a couple of nice results early in the season, but has been mired in a slump, especially in TNPC, until last night. Fourth place for 13.5 points, and is now only 4 points off the wild card pace. Well, clearly, Alec is really hot right now. He's jumped from 8th to 3rd place over the course of the last 4 matches. As stated, he picked up his 3rd victory of the season. And then there's Tim. I mean, for somebody who's only played in 4 matches, he's got more points than 5 other players. He is squarely in the wild card picture and is capable of making hot runs. We've seen it in the past. 2 players right now that are struggling the most would be Markian and Greg. Markian has reached 5th. He was in 5th place after the 3rd match of the season, and since then has just had a steady decline down the ranks. Currently sits in 12th. The most glaring stat for him is that he only has 3 hits. Out of 12 matches, he only has 3 hits. So he's losing a lot of races and not getting it done in that regard. Greg has yet to reach a ranking higher than 13th in the overalls. So that's been a struggle for him. We're used to seeing Greg way up there. Now he has played in 9 matches, so it's not like he isn't showing up all the time. But he himself only has 1 hit in 9 matches. Not a hit machine historically, but I think Greg would tell you that 1 hit in 9 matches isn't going to get it done. Now, last but not least, the Lion Cup. The Lion Cup has been flying under the radar all season. It was an event that wasn't even announced officially until mid-November. And the reason that I had done that was because a change was needed. We needed to change the format of the event. And I think the way that we have it set up this year, it's made it very interesting. We've taken away all of the side matches that lead up to the finale. Instead, we've become parasites, so to speak. The event thrives on using other matches to get players into the grand finale. So we started it at Thunderdome. We're going to end it at Pot of Gold. Those 10 matches, which include the TNPC matches in between, are all qualifiers for the Lion Cup finale. Now, the top 6 performers in the 10 qualifying matches all gain automatic entry into the event. Now, each rank, 1 through 6, is given a point value, and you accumulate points based on those top 6 performances. Currently, we have 20 players that have qualified for Lion Cup. Most recently was Joe Caps at last night's TNPC match. He qualified for the first time and is now invited to play in the big match. We're going to find out a lot about what's going to happen, what's going to shake down, who's going to be in the game. We still have 3 qualifiers to go. The next 2 TNPC matches and the Pot of Gold match. But like I said, it's all leading up to the grand finale, which will take place right here in the Lion's Den on April 18th. As always, if you have any questions or you don't understand anything about what this crazy brain is putting out there for you guys, go to our website, LionPokerClub.net, and look up what you need to get all the help. That's going to do it for this episode of Lion Poker TV. My voice has had it. I'm not bringing in the computer to help me out whatsoever, so we're going to put an end to this right now. We've got our Valentine version of Lion Poker TNPC 7.13 coming up. That's our next match. And after that, we've got the Mardi Gras game. Guy, I'll be seeing you that night, buddy. Shortly after that, we got Pot of Gold. So we got some fun things to look forward to. Until then, I hope you're out there playing poker, because I want you bringing your A game right here in the den. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Like, you can grab it. Go ahead and grab that shit. Like,
You could stick a pencil in there, Brendan.
pencil. Holy shit. I could probably put a roll of quarters in this thing.
I work in DAC. I see no smiles.
We've been in
Or it'd be like, yeah.
Your second runner-up to act, so delve into that a little.
Best quote of the night. I'm like an act fart. I won't go away.
I'm out.
What was the question again?